Today I have a quick tip for playing electric guitar in church worship. We can connect chords with a simple formula. So I'll leave a link for this backing track. It's a great track to practice this concept today, this formula to create lead lines when you're playing church worship. I use this technique all the time. The four chords are G, D major, E minor, C major. So I'm using these four chords as the starting point for this formula. G major, you just look at the full chord, but you're taking a piece of it with your first finger in the 5th fret of the D and A strings. And then you're sliding up to the major third of that chord, the major chord. So 5 on the D, 5 on the A string, sliding from 7 to 9 on the D string. That's the major third, a B note of the G chord. I mean, you can play the B note here, but this technique really helps you create some movement as you're going from that chord to another chord. D chord the same way. Now we're kind of parked on the 7th fret of the G and D strings with your first finger. I like to use the first finger to pivot for this technique here. So D note. Right below it is the A note, the 5th of that chord, sliding to the major third on the 11th fret here. So on the 7th fret, sliding from 9 to 11 on the G is the F sharp note. Now for the E minor chord, it's the minor third that we're sliding to. And this will work with any chord, major or minor, and you can interchange this. So right here, and now we're kind of parked in the 9th fret of the G and D strings. 9 on the G, 9 on the D string, and then we can slide from 11 to 12 on the G string to the minor third, which is a G note here, of the E minor chord. E, B, G. I like using this sliding technique. It really it sounds good to my ear for one thing, but it's easy to get to another chord and some other lead line opportunities when I'm playing church worship. It's just like almost an endless amount of ideas because they kind of cycle together. You can hear the chord when you play that way. At our church, we only use one electric guitar player each week. And when I'm playing rhythm and lead. This is a great way to kind of go back and forth. You have some fullness. If you really rake those two first notes together from the G chord, let's say. In this case, you can alternate back and forth. And then slide up to the major third there. But if you kind of hold it together, it sounds pretty full. I'll crank it up a little bit. And right above that is the 5th again, another D note. We'll add that to the mix. And the same thing with the D. When you slide up to the major third in the 11th fret there, the F sharp note, another 5th of that chord and the octave there is another A note. mean, when you play it like that, it doesn't sound like much. But when you play it with some movement, and you can do that for all those chords. Now, I didn't get to the C. It's the same movement, though. C major, based off of that chord here, the full bar chord. So again, we're parked in the 5th fret of the G and D strings. So 5, 5, sliding to the major 3rd, which is an E note this time for the C chord. 9th fret of the G string. And then you still have that little note there, the G again, right above it. D, E minor, C, and you can go back down those two. So let me demonstrate how I would use this over a backing track or within the church worship context, and just really open it up. Fun stuff there. This just creates a connection to the chord, and obviously you can start using some other licks and scales that you know that will further connect this, but this is like the framework to create some lead lines that stay connected to the chords. You can obviously use these to any major or minor chord. This formula works. Thanks for checking out my worship guitar channel today. I hope you got something from the lesson. Let's talk soon, and remember, God is good.